Hi everybody, it's Dana here, and you know what? Surprises can be nice, but for going through menopause, it's much better to know what's coming. When does menopause start? What's happening in your body during the process? When does it end? And could you please explain that in language that's easy to understand and so that you know how to apply it to yourself? Well, that's what this video is going to be all about. By the end, you'll know the different stages of the menopausal transition you can expect and what to focus on during in each one to support your hormonal balance. I'm Dana Lavoie, an acupuncturist and herbalist. I've been specializing in women's health for over 15 years, and I teach women to use customized Chinese herbs supported by the best diet and lifestyle for their hormones to feel amazing during and after menopause. On my website, danalavoielac.com, my blog, and my online programs. So, here's why it's important to know what's coming. In menopause, I can't tell you how many times, because it is so common, that I've had a woman in my acupuncture office, my herbal consultations, and she's really worried. She's full on scared. She's waking up in the middle of the night wondering what will happen to her family because she's afraid, especially at the beginning of menopause and perimenopause, when she might not even realize that her hormones are changing yet. So she has no idea that the night sweats or extreme fatigue or extreme mood swings or the uncontrollable anger or the crying spells that she's experiencing off and on during the month are related to perimenopause. It can be anything from out of control mood swings or extreme brain fog, forgetfulness, or full-on anxiety. Or she might be depressed because she's gaining weight uncontrollably and can't seem to lose it no matter how much she diets or exercises. Or it could be that it's been so long since she's had a full night's sleep, she can't think clearly and everything feels like a burden, and she feels like she might never sleep through the night again. Or it could be some change that happened in her body, like vaginal dryness or thinning hair. If these start to happen and you don't know why, of course you start to wonder, what the heck is wrong with me? The symptoms can be so extreme that you're sure it must be something serious. So recognizing the signs of menopause when they start happening is comforting. But knowing it's menopause is just the first step. If you also know what to do about it, you're really going to feel better and you're not going to stress out nearly as much. And I know what a big deal this is because this exact thing happened to me. I know what it's like. When I first started perimenopause, I had mood swings during PMS that were so extreme. They started out of the blue 1 month, never had them before, and then all of a sudden I started having these mood swings one day so extreme I literally burst into tears 20 times in one day. I couldn't stop crying. I was at a party. It was a mellow, nice, happy party. Everyone was in a good mood and dancing on a sunny day in an outdoor park, and I felt like my emotions were totally out of control for no reason, which is the part that made me think, maybe I was going a little crazy. And I literally spent most of the day behind the cement block building that had the restrooms in it, trying to wipe up my tears, which just would not stop. Well, since this was the first time I'd ever felt anything like this, and I hadn't had any other signs of perimenopause yet, at the time, I wasn't sure what was going on. And for a lot of women, that's what it's like for a long time. Extreme symptoms, and they have no idea where they're coming from or when they're going to be going away. But for me, what happened is 2 days later, I got my period and my mood went totally back to normal. And I was like, oh, wow, that was perimenopausal PMS. Wow, it was so intense. So just knowing that's what it was a huge comfort, but I'm lucky because I also knew what to do about it. I changed my herbal formulas. The next month, the PMS was about 1/3 as severe. And by the third month, it was totally gone. And it hasn't come back, and it's been a few years now. So that was awesome. What a relief. But today, I want to make sure that you're prepared to recognize your hormonal discomforts as they appear during the whole menopausal transition so you know what's going on that could be causing them. So, what is menopause? When does it start? And how long does it last? Here's what menopause is. These are average ages. For some women, these same stages happen when they're a bit younger or a bit older. It could be 10 years on either side, but you're still going to go through the same stages. So when you're in your late teens, your female hormones reach a lifetime high and you are at your most fertile. A little bit later, on average in your late 20s, say 25 to 35, your hormones start to decline slightly, but they're still pretty high. After 35, they start to decline more quickly. And once they decline to a certain level, you're officially in perimenopause. Then they decline some more until your period stops. When you've gone 12 months in a row without a period or any bleeding, you're officially at the moment of menopause. Then your hormones continue to decline pretty steadily for another year or two, and then they even out. It could be more than 2, it takes a little while, but then they're going to even out at your postmenopausal levels. Okay, so the ages here can vary, like I said, easily 10 years or more on either end from woman to woman, but we all have the same change from our highest hormone levels when we're at our most fertile to our hormones leveling out again at our postmenopausal levels. And during that time, we go through perimenopause when our hormones are declining, but we're still having our period, even if we're having it irregularly. Then when the periods have been gone for 12 months, we're officially at menopause. And when the hormones finish declining and even out again, we're done with that transition part and are fully postmenopausal. So here are things to watch out for at the different stages. It's easier to get pregnant before your hormones get to the part where they're declining more quickly. So if that's important to you, keep that in mind. You can help extend your fertility and put this faster decline off, often for a few years, with the help of Chinese herbs used with a great diet and lifestyle. That's handy to know. Now, in this time, before you really enter perimenopause, here's what you want to focus on. It's great to think about replenishing and topping off your hormone levels. You want to avoid burning the candle at both ends, depleting your hormones and energy reserves, and starting perimenopause with hormone levels that are already lower than they need to be. I mean, those hormones are about to drop, and we don't want them going too low, so get them as high as you can to begin with. Once you're in perimenopause, right, the second part, you can get worsening PMS. This is the most common thing that happens. That can mean everything from mood changes to migraines to increased bleeding, fatigue, body aches, insomnia, night sweats, and more. Often the discomforts will come and go cyclically like PMS or be worse during what you know is PMS. Your bleeding may become irregular. It could be closer together. You could skip a few months here or there. It could become lighter or heavier. One thing to watch out for is that bleeding doesn't get too heavy too often or too close together. If this is starting to happen, you can get into a situation where you can reach a dangerous amount of blood loss. So if you're going in that direction, don't wait too long to get help. Often you can balance this out with Chinese herbs or talking to your doctor. It often means progesterone dropped too fast and too low all of a sudden. So there's definitely help for that if you kind of get to it before it gets too extreme. If it gets too extreme, there's still help for that. It just could be like surgical or something like that. All right, so once you are closer to the moment of menopause, you're more likely to experience irregular bleeding and then no bleeding. All right, eventually you're going to go 12 months with no bleeding. You're also going to more commonly see dryness, hot flashes, night sweats, insomnia, weight gain, and possibly mood changes. The sort of typical symptoms of menopause. Now, the key here is to focus on number one, keeping your hormone levels in harmony with each other while they're changing so quickly right now. Those ratios are important. You want to help them change in a harmonious way together. And you want to keep those hormone levels from dropping too low. You don't want them to bottom out. So that's what you want to focus on in this stage. And after you pass that and get farther on beyond the moment of menopause, a few years after that, those hormone levels are going to balance out again at your postmenopausal levels. And the things that you want to watch out for at that stage is that your hormone levels, first of all, for some women, they kind of get to the end right? They get to the end and they end up uneven. That ratio is off and they stabilize and get stuck like that. And you have something like hot flashes for years and decades and decades. They can go on basically forever. And you need a little tweak, a little adjustment to bring those hormone ratios in balance with each other to stabilize there. And I find often herbs work really well to help the body make this adjustment because yes, these symptoms are going to go on for a while, but if they're going on for 10, 15, 20 years after the moment of menopause, to me, they stabilized at an uneven level postmenopausal, and you can get a little help for that. So the other thing here is you don't want those hormone levels to go too low. You don't want them to bottom out. There's a lot of reasons for that. Helping your body to continue to make as many healthy hormones as possible, keep those postmenopausal hormone levels as high as possible. Ideally, they're going to be about the same as they were when you were 10 or 11 years old. And your whole focus here is helping your body to continue to make more hormones. And there's a number of ways you can do this. You can do this with you're going to want the right hormone supportive diet and the right hormone supportive lifestyle. That's the base that you need. But really, you often need a little bit of extra support here. I find that herbal remedies are absolutely wonderful. Christiane Northrup has a great video going around Facebook right now saying that the right herbs can actually kind of do the same thing for your body that hormone replacement can do. And they say that hormone replacement can be healthy for you here for a while. And there are reasons for that. The reasons that keeping those hormone levels high enough post that menopause is very health protective for your heart and cardiovascular system, for your brain, for your bones, and for feeling better. It's going to help your muscles and your skin tone. You're going to look better. You're going to feel more vibrant. Your metabolism is going to be better. Your muscle tone, you're going to feel a lot better if you can keep those hormone levels a little bit higher. So that's your focus here, is helping your body continue to make hormones and giving it the help that it needs to do that. So that's my overview of the stages of menopause. So what I want you to do is take a minute right now to think about which stage of this transition you're at. Stage 1, where you're still at your highest fertility levels and you haven't started perimenopause yet. Stage 2, where you're at that age where your levels have started to decline a bit, or you're seeing some changes in your cycle or PMS, one of those two things, and you're in perimenopause. Now, at this stage, you're working to keep things balanced and keep your cycle flowing smoothly without too much PMS or too much bleeding. That's the focus. And in stage 3, your cycle has stopped or become very irregular. You're just before or soon after that moment of menopause, and you're working to keep your hormone levels from dropping too low or getting out of ratio with each other to minimize discomforts like hot flashes, insomnia, weight gain, mood changes. And then in that last stage, your cycle stopped a while ago and things feel like they've pretty much stabilized again. And at this stage, you're focusing on helping your body continue to make hormones, and so that to keep those levels high enough and to give those levels a little tweak if they ended up out of balance. So once you know your stage and the main thing you want to be focusing on at that stage, I'd like you to make a list of 1 to 3 things that you're going to start doing in the next week to support your hormones specifically for your stage, before, during, or after. So ask yourself this. Are you on a good basic diet with plenty of vegetables and healthy fats and proteins and not too much sugar? Is your lifestyle healthy with stress management and sleep and the right amount of exercise? Are you taking any herbs or supplements or superfoods specifically for your stage of menopause? If your answer to any of these is no, choose one and find one thing you can start doing in the next week to make that a yes or closer to a yes. And if you need help, I can help you. I've got free downloads available that will help you make hormone-friendly additions to your diet or your lifestyle, and will help you figure out where you're doing well and where you could use a little help and how to get started. And once you've got the basic diet and lifestyle and superfoods and basic supplements, and all this is on my blog and everything like that, when you're ready to take the next step, think about joining up with me to find the right customized herbal remedies specifically for your hormones. That's something that I help women with in my online program, Menopause Made Easy Chinese Herbs, and it'll be opening for enrollment again soon. It's closed, but it opens and closes, so you can get on the wait list. You can find out about that. You're not going to find anything like it anywhere else, and it's just incredible for taking this to the next level and getting on the right diet and the right lifestyle. That's going to help the herbs to work so much better. So I would love it if you would send me an email or get in the comments below this post or contact me on social media and let me know which stage you're at. Let me know if you have questions and need help figuring that out, and let me know what is your one thing that you are going to do in the next week. And then I want you to come back and tell me when you started doing it. And then the next step for those of you who are really committed is to keep doing it, to make it a part of your regular routine. So if you have questions, I am live on Facebook pretty much every Thursday at 5:15 p.m. Pacific time doing a live Q&A session. So join me there. Bring your questions, bring your confusion. Let me know where you're getting stuck, and let's work together to get you started putting these things in place one at a time that will help you to support your hormones. All right, I'm Dana Lavoie. I am an acupuncturist and herbalist. I've been specializing in women's health for over 15 years, and I teach women to use customized Chinese herbs supported by the best diet and lifestyle for their hormones to feel amazing during and after menopause on my website, my blog, and with my online programs. It's all at danalavoielac.com. I would love to hear from you, so get in touch with me and have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time and for joining me today. Bye-bye for now.